less work. I mean, and that relative speed drafting advantage is one of the really important things in outside and in indoor virtual bike racing. You see, when you're on the tail of somebody in the front, they're getting the full force of all of the friction caused by the wind. Well, we can replicate that in a game.
The virtual wind.
Right, exactly. So the person on the front has 100%. The person sitting right behind them may get 71%. Of that friction.
That's
the person behind them.
There.
Yeah, 64. It's science is basically what it is. But it allows people to reserve a little bit of that energy and then use it when they need it, to burn that afterburner when it get them the most effect. Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
Pretty cool thing.
So this is the second CVR event, and this time we've teamed up with a fantastic charity. A lot of you from the Zwift world will know it, the World Bicycle Relief. And here's a reminder why we work with the WBR is so important.
The right to education is for all, even for a girl. People may wish for sons, but I'm glad I was born a girl child. Challenges may be more, but the blessings will be bigger. You educate a girl, you've educated a nation. It's only education that equalizes a rich man's daughter and a poor man's daughter. As I cycle my buffalo bicycle to school and back home every day, I know that my future will be great.
We'll have a lot more information on that charity and just how you can get involved a little bit later on. Now, as you can see, we have a lot of equipment here and it's all going to be talking to each other. So please, could we ask our audience here at Kachette in East London to place their phones in flight mode so we can keep any possible interference with the race down to an absolute minimum. Thank you for that. Now, what is virtual bike racing? We're going to be explaining how it all works in just a few moments and, of course, meeting the riders. But in the meantime, this is what it looks like. Here's just a taste of the action from the very first CVR event in Las Vegas in April.
The first ever CVR event, the World Cup kick-off in April, could not have been more exciting. The men's race ended in a desperate chase in the closing stages as sprinter Shane Miller began to overhaul breakaway rider Justin Purificati, with the finish line drawing ever closer.
Purificati, can he hold on? You know he wants to. You know he's got every ounce desire to do it. But will his legs have anything left in them after over 20 minutes off the front?
For London, CVR will be bringing even more detailed in-race telemetry, giving viewers a unique insight into the power outputs of riders as they battle for the win.
Now we do see Templar making his way to the front. Purificati still has 3 seconds. Can he do it? It's going to come all the way down to this last 500 meters.
I'm hoping that you set me free. Can't take the pressure, you hold over me. I'm falling, I'm fading,
E-Crit Series race here in Australia. Now tell me, the racing online, is it just as competitive as real racing?
Probably more so. It gets pretty serious, and yeah, I have to say it's pretty full on right from the gun. So every race that I've done here, it's like flat stick right from the gun, have to hold as much as you can right from the start. Whereas some of the other races that I've done where they're not criterions, they're longer road races, you'll roll out and actually get into a good rhythm and form a bit of a pack to start your riding.
Okay, now the tactics that work outside, do they work inside? Things like drafting and breakaways and attacks and even bunch positioning. Does that work in the virtual world here?
In fact, that's part of the key parts to these racing. So once the groups form, as as part of the overall race as it unfolds, you have to stay in the draft, because as soon as you don't, then you're working twice as hard to get back into the bunches and to move forward. It's about jumping between groups and trying to hold my position and trying to stay as far forward as I can.
The start line is packed. We have 78 starters so far, with still 3 minutes to go. So racing's underway. We'll leave Von with it for the night. Good luck, Von.
Thank you.
As you can see there, real tactics and real effort put into play there from Von on the bike. As we saw in Vegas, CVR take this to the next level. We're all on the same trainers, we all are measured in height, measured in weight, and we're head to head, virtually, but also side by side. It's game on.
Thanks to Shane for that. Now, he's actually racing tonight too. One of the things that makes virtual bike racing so realistic is these smart trainers. They can simulate the terrain of the course. If the road goes up, it gets harder. Down, it gets easier. I mean, you get the idea. But here is Shane again to explain a bit more about the magic of these smart trainers.
Original indoor trainers had knobs or dials that you'd turn to increase or decrease resistance. Along came fluid trainers and wind trainers where you'd change through your gears to change resistance, which was more like riding outdoors. And then along comes smart trainers, well, specifically interactive smart trainers, where the resistance of the unit is automatically controlled by your PC, tablet devices or phones, or head units on your bike. Let's have a close look at exactly how this works. The interactive smart trainer we're looking at today is the original Wahoo Kicker unit. You can see here I've removed the rear wheel from my bike and mounted it here on the Kachette, which is compatible with the group set that I run, so 11-speed Shimano. So once the bike is secured in place using a rear skewer, it's just like riding a bike. Even with that familiar sound of a free hub. The big advantages of a direct drive interactive smart trainer is that it can provide an almost infinite level of varying resistance through the electromagnets in here, but also it reports the power that you're doing. So if you don't have a power meter on your bike, this will report the power that you're putting out to drive your bike forward. Most interactive smart trainers require an external power source, and when plugged in can provide levels of resistance anywhere between 0 watts and up to 2000 watts of resistance. So lots of training zones there to be had. Sim mode is designed with some complex calculations built in, so that'll take into account your weight, your height, the bike you're on, and some estimated aerodynamics. But I guess the easiest way to explain sim mode is that if you're going up a 5% gradient on the screen, it feels like you're going up a 5% gradient. 10%, it feels like 10%. The same in the reverse order as well. 0% feels like you're riding on a flat road, and downhill, it will actually simulate downhill. So releasing all resistance on this unit, you've got to change gears into your 5311 and spin up if you want to keep pedaling, just like outside. With platforms such as Zwift using sim mode, it's changed things entirely. No longer are these indoor trainers, they're indoor cycling simulators. But it might be a while before we see that word dropped from the marketing and on the box. So there it is, a quick overview and back to basics on what an interactive smart trainer is and how it does it. In summary, up a hill, it gets hard. I turn around and it simulates downhills. Life is much better on the downhills.
Now, the atmosphere is really starting to build here in Shoreditch, and it's about time we met our female roster of racers for tonight. Tell us who you are and what inspired you to race tonight.
My name's Heidi, and just to come and have a different sort of experience and meet all these lovely people.
I'm going to run along the line here. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, there's quite a tense atmosphere in here. How are the nerves?
Trying to keep them in check at the moment. It's going up and down, so yeah, we'll see how it goes.
And tell us who you are and a bit about yourself as well.
My name's Hannah Slade. I'm a landscape architect from Bath in the UK, and I've been racing not very much at all. So I'm going to
That's not fighting talk.
I'm going to be thrown completely in the deep end, but I'm going to look forward to it. So yeah, it should be good.
Big good luck, and thank you so much for joining us. Now I wander a little bit further along the line. Tell us who you are and your inspiration for tonight.
My name's Jo Ganley. I work in London as a data analyst, but my inspiration is a couple of girls on the American team who are very supportive, not in this arena, but hey, so we're out to give it a shot.
Good luck. Now, let's have some fighting talk. It's all been very polite so far.
Okay, we're going to win. We're going to do it. Yeah.
And how are you feeling? How are the legs ahead of tonight's racing?
They're slightly getting them warmed up, primed up for the race, so yeah.
It's going to be fun as well, or just hard work?
No, just fun.
Now, tell us who you are. Going to just nip round here.
I'm Rachel. I'm from Newbury in Berkshire. And yeah, this is my first CVR World Cup. I'm really looking forward to it.
Now, a little birdie tells me you're very, very strong on a TT course. That must stand you in good stead for tonight.
I'm good on a TT bike. I can go I can go a long way at a constant speed. Sprinting's not necessarily my forte, but I've raced on Zwift before. I've used Zwift for a couple of years now, so I'm quite familiar with it. And it's just great to race people in real life who you've seen just on a computer screen. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Can you tell us anything about your tactics?
I always have tactics, but they always go out of the window the minute the go thing starts. So, no, I don't have any tactics at all.
And what is the key to success when you're on Zwift?
Pedal like crazy. And if you feel like you're not going to die, push harder.
Are you a good candidate for a long breakaway today?
Oh, I might just give it a go. So.
Okay, well, I feel like I'm drawing too much tactics out, so I'm going to run down here a little bit more. Just a final word up here. Let's have some fighting talk now.
Bring it on.
Huge good luck to all of our riders tonight. Now, every rider has an equal chance tonight, and anything can happen in racing. But the next three riders we're going to meet might, in some people's eyes, be heading for that podium. Let's meet them.
Hi, my name's Kerry Conaby and I'm riding to represent the UK. I'm from South Oxfordshire. I've been riding since I was a wee nipper, but I've only owned a road bike for the last 7 years. I haven't done any real life racing. I joined Zwift in autumn and I've done loads of group rides and races, and I really like it and I'm getting quite competitive. I've ridden with some of the other ladies before, so I know it's going to be a challenge. I'm not super experienced with race tactics, so I tend to ride on my own instinct. I'm just going to do my best and enjoy the race. In real life or Zwifting, I enjoy spending time with my family and friends. I like to stay active. I do weights at home, a bit of body pump. I go out running sometimes. I've done a couple of 10k runs. I've done Tough Mudder event, which I don't think I'm going to do again. I like to go out for country walks. Me and my partner are both gardeners, so we go out visiting lots of gardens during the year. At home, I'm dabbling in a bit of art, trying to get back into it. My toughest real life cycling event was the Bucks 100 Sportive. I found that quite tough. That was my first one, so